This season of The Boys was somewhat unsatisfying, but we'll get to that a little later. Right now, I want to talk to you about something that took me right out of the show this season. In episode 4, we have O Father talking to the American people about divine rebranding or something. The camera cuts to the crowd to show he's got a huge audience, but in all this crowd, and if you blink, you'll miss it, is a Sardarji. A Sardarji who isn't a white American, which is the demographic O Father is targeting. And I know O Father is black, but still, the point the showrunners are trying to make is that white people are the bad guys here. Anyway, in this crowd, a Sardarji is sitting and listening to O Father talk, and he nods at everything O Father says. And I'm beginning to wonder why the hell a Sardarji, siding with the American right wingers, is sat down there with everyone else. From what I understand, Sardarjis are warriors, fighting for everyone. They're liberal. They're not going to fall for the crap that Homelander or any of his flunkies are selling. It's an incredible leap of logic to accept that a Sardarji would be at this talk and he would be agreeing with everything the superheroes are selling him. Just to be sure, I went on to Google and asked if Sardarjis in America are right wing because I don't have friends and Google is the only thing that's willing to talk to me. I asked if Sardarjis can be right wing in America and Google told me Sardarjis can quite possibly be aligned with the right wing in America. Well, I'll be damned. Garth Ennis, the creator of The Boys, has a pretty nihilistic view on superheroes. Other than Superman, I think he hates every superhero that's ever been written. And this is most evident in The Boys, where superheroes have been debased horribly. He's written other comics that treat superheroes badly, but Boys was the culmination of all this hate he has for superheroes. From what I remember, the first few seasons of The Boys stuck to this hate for superheroes. It also snuck in other criticisms of the right, all the stupid crap Hollywood keeps pulling, and culture in general. And it did all of this quite well. In season 5, however, the criticisms on the state of affairs in our world were rare. They talked about how Homelander sees himself as God, and that's literally what Trump did a while back. They're still parodying superheroes with all the Sony posters at Mr. Marathon's house. And sure, we get to see Homelander kill the Elon Musk knockoff. But social and superhero commentary were mostly absent from this season. Those took a backseat to the story, a story that I felt wasn't very good. Back when season 3 came out, I was pretty sure the show would go on for years because they had nearly 70 issues of the comics to cover. The Boys isn't Garth Ennis' best work. I think I disliked the comic book quite a bit, but I expected Seth Rogen, the executive producer, to do justice to the comics, like they did with the first 3 seasons. I was hoping the show would alter the comics enough to make it good for TV. Instead, by season 4, things started to go downhill, and in season 5, we got whatever it is we got. The Boys went and did what Supernatural did. Start off well, do great stuff with its premise, but eventually waste away all that potential. The characters didn't do anything exceptional this season either. Butcher has a nice final season with Homelander. Huey ends up killing Butcher, but other than that, these characters haven't done anything remarkable. The rest of the boys, Starlight, Frenchie, they don't do anything interesting either. And Kimiko, I thought the way they set up her superpower stealing powers, I thought that was a little too convenient. It wasn't fun, it wasn't interesting. We also got the Gen V kids for about 5 seconds. We spent 2 seasons with the kids from Gen V. 2 seasons that promised to lead into season 5 of The Boys. Something that would give us some sort of closure for the kids from Gen V. Instead, we got cameos, throwaway cameos. What was the point of spending 2 seasons with people who have no bearing on the way things turn out in the end? Ashley, Ryan, O Father, they all had satisfying endings, but otherwise their stories were just bleh. Sister Sage's journey from evil super thinker to completely useless character who does nothing, it was very tiring. A-Train had a good ending with just 1 episode, but other than that, I think A-Train is a dick. I don't know why they gave him that redemption arc. It makes me very uncomfortable when bad guys get redemption arcs, like when Jaime Lannister became a good guy. It really annoyed me. Black Noah's death was very unsatisfying. The guy could fly. Why was he just strangled by the Deep? The Deep, though, met a pretty hilarious death that was entertaining to watch. Then we got Soldier Boy's end and Firecracker's death, both of which were, again, unsatisfying. We got Homelander's end, which was the only satisfying death we got this season because I've been waiting to watch Homelander die for years. Speaking of Homelander, when he became immortal after drinking V1, Homelander is pretty much unchanged. There's nothing different about him. He acts and feels exactly like the old Homelander. If anything, he actually becomes slower. We see him in that final battle with Butcher and the boys. He's slow. His eye beams are useless. He's just a weakened version of himself. The show basically ended with Homelander and Butcher's deaths, and while both were sort of satisfying deaths, I think they wasted a lot of this season doing things that didn't really matter, like Mr. Marathon, or the teenage kicks, or Soldier Boy and his whole backstory that took up so much of the story, or so many other things. I think they could have just kept the ending clean, focusing on just the boys and Homelander, and that would have made a much better season finale. I don't know, I like the boys for what it was trying to do, but they dropped the ball in this last season, which is very disappointing. I'm just. I'm just going to stop now and maybe come back with something else next time. Bye bye.